what's up? Welcome to episode number 7 of Becoming Mr. Insurance. I'm Ryan Frank. Thanks for watching this video or listening to the podcast today. Sharing with you my journey as a pastor, publisher, entrepreneur, and aspiring insurance agency owner. Out of everything you could be watching on YouTube, I launched my YouTube app to see what episode this was. And right at the top is a video of a roller coaster, point of view, something that my kids have been looking for. And then below that was some video of Donald Trump's hair flying off his head in a hurricane. Out of everything there is to watch on YouTube or listen to on a podcast, thanks for tuning in to Becoming Mr. Insurance. What a week it's been. What a week it's been. Great news. Okay, if it looks like a load has been lifted off my shoulders, I passed my Florida state exam this morning. Very, very, very thankful. If you listened to the last episode, I studied to take this test last week and had computer problems and had to reschedule. So I used my wife's computer, Beth, her computer today. There were no technical problems. I studied all weekend, stayed up late, woke up at 4:30 this morning, studied more, passed the test. So thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your encouragement. How did the test go? Well, in one sense, it was easier than I thought. In another sense, it was more difficult than I thought. I had really stressed out about trying to memorize all the different symbols, the numbers and what they represent, and trying to remember how many months you have for this and that and all of these deductibles. And that probably stressed me out more than anything when I was preparing for the test. Not a lot of that showed up on the test. Some of it, but not a lot. So that was good. In that sense, things went a little easier. Tell you a little story. I got through the 110 questions or whatever and thought, well, I've got plenty of time. I've got like an hour and a half here or an hour. I'm going to go back and review these questions. So I went back, reviewed the questions, changed a couple, which I was glad I reviewed. And then I'm going to be done with 40 minutes on the clock. And I pushed done and it said, are you sure you're done reviewing? I said, yes. And it said, great. Now you're ready for the next section of the test. And I started to panic. I'm going to be honest with you. It was not as many questions. It was only 65 questions or so, thankfully, but I only had 35 minutes on the clock. And sometimes in life you realize I'm really not in control, right? If you've owned a business, if you're a pastor, if you're a manager of people, you like to think you're in control, but there are times when you're like, you know what, I am totally not driving this train. And I've got to rely on the people around me, and I've got to rely on the experience of the past and what I know and what God has shown me. And that's where I was. I'm like, hey, you know what, I'm not driving this train. I've got 35 minutes to punch through these 65 questions. And I did it. Thankfully, I passed. I scored with an 83%. Okay, you have to have a 70 to pass. Scored with an 83. So, hey, I'm tickled. Thank you for your encouragement, for your thoughts, for your prayers. Well, what's next? Now it's time to start chiseling away. I've actually got to get my license, so I've got to tell the state of Florida that I passed the test, and I've got to actually get my license. And then we're wanting to open up on July 1st. So that means I need to start applying for an FEIN and get this business set up and get an office location finalized. And I've got to really start now getting busy now that I have this monkey off my back. So I'll keep you posted in upcoming episodes of Becoming Mr. Insurance. I also, in the next episode or two, I want to talk to you about my trip to California last week. I went out to California to meet with Jeff and Justin and Caitlin from Team Quantum. And also I met with an amazing insurance agent, Daniel Seong, with Great Parks Insurance in Irvine, California. Has a great office. He's an independent agent doing so much with social media. And he's really spot on with his branding. And he's automated his business using Infusionsoft, which is the CRM that we use for our nonprofit, Kids Matter, that I'm already familiar with. He introduced me to Pho, P-H-O, I think is the way you spell it, food. It was all right. I'll talk to you more about it when I talk to you about that trip. But it was a great trip. I want to talk to you about that. Also, in an upcoming episode soon, I want to talk to you about my journey with cryptocurrency that has not begun yet, but I want to begin soon. So Beth and I have been acquiring metal, silver, gold here and there, and this week we picked up some more gold. And on the way home, we were like, we really need to get into this crypto. And Jeff Shee, who's with Team Quantum, has been trying to encourage me. He's got me in a Facebook group with all of these quantum agents that are 10 times smarter than I am with cryptocurrency. But you know what? I think it's the world that we're moving toward, and we're going to be in soon. I probably should have started buying crypto a year, 2 or 3 back, but here I am. So I'm gonna try to jump into the game, and I'm gonna keep you posted on my thoughts here in the Becoming Mr. Insurance show. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support. We'll talk to you next time.